Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Path of Exile tutorial. So today's video we are going to be discussing boss fighting. Well, not really. This marks the first in a series of videos that I plan to make over the next coming weeks and months of this league, where we go over various bosses, whether or not they're profitable to farm, and kind of what you need to do it. Today's video we're going to start with one of the most underrated bosses that is both incredibly cheap to run and incredibly simple. That is, of course, Oshabi. Now, Oshabi, one moment. Oshabi has some fantastic rewards, notably the Forbidden Shako. As you are seeing here, no doubt, these can be sold for quite a bit of profit. At the time of recording, an unidentified Forbidden Shako is 75 Chaos. I just sold quite a few of them, as you can see here. I was going to go ahead and show a fight, and then show the rewards, but this person coming in to buy them made that a little bit difficult. So we'll go ahead and go cover the rewards first. What do you get from Oshabi? Well, I have ran 19 Oshabi fights so far. In those 19 fights, I have managed to receive 4 Pacifism Exceptional Gems, 19 Sacred Crystallized Life Force, more on this in a moment, 5 of the Aspirant card, which, real quick, we're going to try and see if we can't figure out why my inventory is doing that, and I have received this many Forbidden Shakos. You can pause the video if you want, or I will just tell you it is 13 Forbidden Shakos out of 19 fights. Now, the fight itself is a very straightforward fight. You get the fight from running a bunch of harvest content, cornucopia stuff, yada yada yada, and killing tier 4 monsters. Tier 4s being the unique enemies, drop the Sacred Blossom. At the time of recording, Sacred Blossoms are being bought at 26C, and they sell for 30. So if you want to go buy one, you can pay 30C, get a blossom, get a whole stack, or if you're farming regular harvest, you can turn around and sell them. But that's not really that much money. So I don't sell mine. I run them. I even buy them. Because when you run the fight, you are guaranteed to get rewards in the form of Sacred Crystallized Life Force. At the time of recording, these again are being bought by players for 30C, or they're listed on the market at 35C. This means that no matter what, since this is a guaranteed drop, if you go to run Oshabi, you pay 30C to get your Sacred Blossom, you get 1 life force which sells for the same price as the actual encounter, or can be sold to players at 35C for a tiny little bit of profit. It's not a lot, but again, it is guaranteed. Now, let's go ahead and discuss the actual fight. Well, I've already activated one, so let's go ahead and go on in and do the fight real quick. So you activate the Heart of the Grove, Oshabi comes in, talks a mad game, and then basically does nothing. That is, if you're a pretty defensive build, like I am. I got hit, and now I basically won't get hit for the rest of the encounter. This is, of course, my cast on block gladiator. It is not meant to do boss fighting, it is meant to do mapping content, but I have repurposed it for this, threw in a little calling strike, and now I can just kind of stand here and wait for her to die. Now the first part of the fight, she teleports around, summons her vine, does a little bit of damage to you, or, you block it and you don't take any damage, but that kind of is whatever. If you're a build that does a lot of burst damage, things like Penance Brand of Dissipation, you can actually kill her in this stage and take no damage from her. There's nothing she can do. Once, however, she becomes invulnerable, like you saw there, and she teleports around, she starts to summon her little creatures. These guys have a huge amount of hit points, and when you kill them, well, if you're like me and you have, say, Detonate Dead of whatever, their corpse will explode for a ton of damage. As you can see there, the fight itself is pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I did get my crystallized life force. I'm not entirely sure. I've only ran 2. No, I must have ran 1 extra one, a test run, but that's okay. So, here we are. We're going to go do one more real quick, just to show you. Nice and easy. Pretty straightforward build. If you have a couple million, like I'd say 5 to 10 million DPS, the fight's pretty smooth. If you are a large burst damage, again, Penance Brand of Dissipation, or perhaps maybe even Winter Orb, a lot of different builds this league, you can kill her in record time. Also, if you stand too close to her when she comes out of the ground like that, she kind of freaks out and stops attacking, so do make sure you stand at least a little bit far away. Builds that struggle with this boss fight are glass cannon builds, bow builds that don't have a lot of instantaneous damage or damage over time from range. Builds that excel are builds like Righteous Fire Chieftain, Fulcrum Chieftain, Fire Trap Fulcrum. So you kill a single monster, you get Hinokora proc, and then you basically burn them to death immediately. Lots of cast on crit builds do really well here. Totem builds do pretty well here. I hear there's a really good crab build this league. I've not actually paid much attention to it. But really, there's a lot of builds that can easily handle Oshabi. Here you see that she summoned her little bear, but her bear didn't fall over here. Unfortunate. Oh, but it didn't matter. So it's a pretty easy fight overall. She doesn't do a lot of damage. She only has one dangerous mechanic, which I'm kind of hoping she'll do, but I don't think she will. And that is where she summons a wall of vines that traps you in an area. Oh, hey, she did do it. Sweet. So the root wall one here is dangerous because she sends out a creeping death ground effect that will basically kill you if you stand in it. That burned ground you see. It hurts. It hurts a lot. Don't stand in it. It's kind of like the memory game for Maven. You can just ignore it if you need to. Die to it if you need to. Come back in. You know, you got 6 portals, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But otherwise, the rest of her things, her Vine Lash attack, her little Poison Orb attack, like none of them do anything. They do very minimal damage, so you can safely ignore them most of the time. Now, where is she going to pop out? Where is she going to pop out? Oh, wow, she's doubled back. Okay. So, oh, and she went invulnerable again. This is the downside of using a build like mine, where you have to stand on top of them, let them hit you, and then that triggers all your damage. Since they don't like to sit around vulnerable for a while, if you don't get them, then you're going to be running around. So, there we go. Killed her again. Nice and easy. No big deal. We got one of her staff. Crystallized Life Force. Whatever. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to Faustus. And 6.5 per divine. That's pretty cool. Or about the same. Technically speaking, I suppose you could say it's probably worth a little bit better to sell them in divine form, but gold, yada yada, who really cares, right? Here we go. So I have 3 divines, just like that, nice and easy. Yeah, I know I could have done it as 1, don't really care. We'll take these. Now, as you may have noticed, I did mention that I have the pacifism jewels. I'm not really doing anything with them. And the reason why I'm not really doing anything with the pacifism jewels, nor those div cards, is the div cards, I don't really know if there's anything worth doing with them. Like, generally speaking, divination cards from boss drops can be pretty good. In this case, I mean, that's 100 chaos, so it's like 1 in 4 drops from doing 20 fights. So you can kind of draw your own conclusion. For profit from this boss fight, is it worthwhile? You know, 100 C in these. I got 3 divines. I converted my chaos into divines basically at a 1-to-1. It didn't really gain anything from the Sacred Life Force, but I didn't lose anything either, right? And then I made a fair bit of money just off of these Forbidden Shakos. Now, I still have several more to go, so that's another 300 chaos just sitting there, right? Or sorry, 450 chaos just sitting there, which is pretty good. This one I accidentally identified, so it doesn't, if for my test run, it doesn't count. And then here we've got an additional, what, 525. So we have 975 chaos worth of Forbidden Shakos. That's not quite 5 divines. If we throw in these aspirant cards, it is 5 divines, right? So we gained 5 divine profits from 20 fights. How fast you do these fights will determine, it's basically the only determination of your profit per hour. Forbidden Shakos are incredibly common. Like I said, it's better than 50-50 chance you're going to get one every fight. The fight is free thanks to the Sacred Life Force. Now let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle. These jewels. What are they worth? What are they good for? Well, to be honest, they're not really worth anything, right? They're only usually used in situations where people want to not be able to kill things. So what do we do with them? Well, we're going to go check something real quick. I don't know if this is still in the game because there was a bunch of changes, but I'm pretty sure it is. In the menagerie, in the bestiary area, there used to be a exceptional, sacrifice an exceptional support gem for 3 high-level, high-quality support gems. So this requires the Vivid Watcher. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy a few Vivid Watchers. We got 4 gems, so we'll buy 4 of these. Vivid Watchers. All right, cool. So we'll buy you, you, and you. Actually, you know what? Just for the sake of argument, we'll go ahead and buy them all because we don't care. And then we can do more of these later off when we're not recording. Oop, wrong button. Laggy hideouts. I really hate them. All right, so we'll go ahead and just use some of these up. Now, when it says high level, high quality, that actually means, well, you'll see in a moment. Come on. Come on out. Guess the last one's not going to come out. That actually means 2020 uncorrupted support gems. Pretty cool, right? So we see here we got 3 uncorrupted 2020 support gems immediately. These are amazing. Oops, sorry. Exceptional. Especially at the beginning of a league. And since you're a boss build, presumably, you can do this fight very easily. So you just come in, you throw in your worthless 1 Chaos Exceptional Gem, and just like that, you're getting a whole stack of corruptible 2020s. Now, what you can get is completely random. So like it's not a case of, oh, look at me, I'm going to get super expensive multiple divine 2020s. But it doesn't matter. With the changes that have been made to GCPs and everything else going on, it is incredibly likely that when you go to run this, oh, I don't have enough beasts. So, all right, I guess we're going to only run it on these 3. I've done no bestiary this league. It is incredibly likely that you are going to wind up with 2020 supports that are worth way more than the inputs. So we're just going to go ahead and price check this real quick. I'm going to just mute my mic for a moment because I need to sneeze. All right. So we went ahead, did these. These three weren't worth a thing. 5, 15, 5. Okay, sure, fine. So we literally got the price of the beast. But these all 80, 80, 50, 50, 80, 100. Right here is an additional 2, maybe 3 divines worth. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say that all this together was worth 1.5 divines. Just really conservative. And these are only 2020s. You could just go vol these. They didn't cost you anything. They were basically free. This is a 1C gem that you could even buy. You can buy this on the market. Spend 1C for this, 5C on the Vivid Watcher, right? So that's 5 chaos, and you can convert them into this and hideout farm as a bosser. But we'll get to the bestiary boss fighting guide in another video, probably my third video. But yeah, from just the Oshabi fight, which cost nothing, because again, Sacred Blossoms are 25C, 25 to 30. The Crystallized Life Force is 30 to 35. Just from that, you have maybe half a divine in the jewel rewards every couple of fights that are just for free. You have the div cards, which are not worth a lot, but they're still basically free. And then Forbidden Shakos, which provide the bulk of your money. So, that's all I really got for you guys on this one. I hope you see that Oshabi is in fact quite profitable to run. And again, the boss fight itself is very easy. This is a mapping build. The only thing that this build has that your build probably doesn't is 99.9% chance to block attack and spells. That's it. I just don't take damage usually after the first hit. My DPS, I believe, in total is something like 3-4 million poison DPS sustained. It's really nothing. If I get lucky with a good detonate dead explode, sure, great. I'll kill her quickly. But otherwise, even my slow damage will just kill her eventually. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And I'll see you in the next one.